I think this is the last week that we see Carson Wentz as a starter ever. I think, you maybe go to Tyler Heineke, and it's time to, the future is now, and it doesn't include Carson Wentz.
That is a bold prediction. We'll come back to it. Graz, give me one.
Mine's not as bold. I have the New England Patriots keeping it rolling against the Cleveland Browns. They have found something in the running game. I think that Ramondre Stevenson will be the lead back this week with Damian Harris hurt. I bet he gets 150 rushing yards. Get him in your fantasy lineup.
They love him. And Bailey Zappi at quarterback. Ninko, give me a bold prediction.
Well, I woke up this morning. I wanted to make your day.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Jets over the Packers. Yes, I said it. The Jets are going to get it done in Lambeau. The Cheeseheads are going down. The Jets are going to be flying high. They got a lot of confidence. They got their starting young quarterback under center. So guess what? Jets are going to get it done.
I'm canceling the rest of the show, and we're just talking about that. Oh, I'm kidding. D. Wood, give me a bold prediction.
Can I piggyback off of that?
Please.
Go.
Okay, how about Zach Wilson would throw more touchdown passes than Aaron Rodgers in this game? Look at him. Yes, look at that. Look at that. We're talking about the weapons that the Jets have with Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis. How about Breece Hall? Breece Hall's that dual threat running back. Zach Wilson, more touchdown passes in this game.
These bold predictions have started my day on the right foot. Okay, now let's get to the very end of Sunday because we've got the monster games this weekend. We got KC Buffalo, we'll deal with that, and then we go to Philadelphia because Dak Prescott's status continues to be the biggest story in the sport. He was back at practice yesterday, throwing passes for the first time since he had surgery on that thumb. However, Mike McCarthy says Cooper Rush is likely to start again. Here's the coach.
You got to trust the medical process. I mean, this is a 17-game season. That was my, my immediate response. I know Dak didn't want to hear it, but we got to make sure that he's right for the long haul too. Not that I'm saying we're being conservative, because it doesn't really line up with him and the way he approaches preparing for the play. But yeah, this really is following the medical timeline, and he's doing all the things you could possibly do and more to get ready. But I don't think it would change from my view.
All right, so there it is directly from the horse's mouth. Dan Graziano, what blanks can you fill in for us on Dak?
It starts to sound like week 7 is more likely than week 6, right? Like they're getting, McCarthy has said he wanted to see Dak get through a full week of practice. He was limited in practice yesterday, so this won't be a full week of practice, so that points to another Cooper Rush start. And they are being conservative. He's saying whatever he said about being conservative doesn't line up with what Dak wants, but the Cowboys have consistently been conservative with him. Remember last year in training camp, he had a shoulder thing. They held him off the field for longer than he wanted. They sat him out of a game last year when he had a calf injury. So this is consistent with the way they've operated. The fact that they're 4-0 with Cooper Rush starting obviously buys them more time than they thought they had. But what they're saying is it would have always been this way. He doesn't start till he's healthy, and that's what they're sticking to.
Look, I'm neither a football coach nor a doctor, but if you watch the beginning of this video that we just showed of Dak Prescott, and again, they don't allow us to see absolutely everything that happens at practice, but the two things we see are him throwing a ball left-handed, and then the other one, he sort of feigns the motion of throwing. So let's live in a world, and look at it. Again, I'm not suggesting this is what he did all day at practice, but it just is interesting. First, he throws it left-handed, and now here he is. That's the handoff, but then here's the other one where, maybe not. So, Bart, let's talk about this. Let's live in a world where Cooper Rush is the starting quarterback for the Cowboys again in the showdown game against Philadelphia. He has pulled off 4 straight. Can he beat the Birds?
I don't believe so. I think, really they're playing the varsity now. You talk about, the Eagles, they're second in offense, 4th in defense. You talk about the best offensive line. This is going to be the Dallas defense toughest test that they've had the entire year. You talk about the running game. I just think that you're going to force Cooper Rush to have to play football. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be able to hand off the ball. He's going to have to make plays down the field. And I think that opportunistic defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, led by 2 great cornerbacks on the outside and tremendous pass rushers, I think that's too much for him to handle.
Talk about Cooper Rush, D. Wood. If you're going into this game and he's your quarterback, what are you telling him we need from you to beat Philadelphia Sunday night?
First of all, you can't turn the ball over. That's where it all starts with any quarterback, but especially for a guy like that. Don't give the ball away to the Philadelphia Eagles. Can't give them extra opportunities. And then it's got to be the same formula. Like, if you're Dallas Cowboys, why change anything? I know you're going against the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles undefeated. They're great. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, it's going to be more of the same medicine. I'm going to run the football. I'm just going to keep running and putting my quarterback in a situation where, hey, play here, play there, play good defense. That's got to be the recipe to win this game.
What do you think, Nate?
Well, the Cowboys got to stay ahead of the sticks, and what I mean is on first down, they have to win on first down. So if you're the Eagles, if I was the defensive coordinator, I'm walking into the room, I'm saying, listen, on first down, we got to stop the run. If you're the Cowboys with your backup quarterback, you want to establish a good, strong running game on first down. So that keeps second and third downs more manageable. If you look at a play call sheet, they have a list of second and twos, second and threes, third and ones, third and fives. All those are really easy. Third and 10 plus, that's hard. That's when the OC's like, man, what do we have here? We only have a minimal amount of plays. So for the Cowboys to win this game, I think they have to run the ball early. They have to establish the run. And then for the Eagles, it really comes down to stopping the run, get them in longer down and distances. Then defense, so you can pin your ears back and let your defense go to work.
I really like it when we give things to the fans to look for specifically. If the Cowboys can run the ball on first down, assuming Cooper Rush is the quarterback, it's a huge factor in the game. Meantime, let me just show you the numbers on the Dallas defense, because this is what the opposing quarterback is up against. I think we have those here. The Dallas D has been getting after the QB this year. It's been extraordinarily well documented, right? Micah Parsons and everybody. They're second in the league in sacks. They pressure the quarterback 39% of the dropbacks. That is the second best in the league. Opposing quarterbacks average fewer than 6 yards per attempt this season. Only the Eagles defense has a better mark. So it's strength against strength in that regard. But Dan Graziano, let's talk about what's at stake for Jalen Hurts here. He's the story of the league for the first portion of the season. He's answered a lot of questions. But does he need this game to answer them all?
I think this is all upside for Jalen Hurts. I think if he wins this game and performs well and beats the Cowboys, who everybody, at this monster defense is coming in, that's only one more mark in his favor. I think if he gets beat up by the Cowboys front like everybody else has, then it's kind of back to the drawing board and they're tied and they'll get him again a few months down the road. But no, I think this is an opportunity for Jalen Hurts to really establish himself in that MVP conversation and obviously as the solution for the Eagles going forward. I will say this, though. We're talking about that matchup up front.
Yeah.
There were 4 Eagles offensive linemen on the injury report yesterday. And they're all listed as limited, but it was an estimated injury report. They didn't practice. They only had a walkthrough because the coaches were a little banged up. So that's something to watch.
Okay, so something to keep an eye on. Here's what I want to get from my defensive guys up here right now. So the Dallas pass rush, they've been spectacular. We just showed you the numbers. Micah Parsons right now is in the MVP of the league conversation. But the dynamic athleticism of Jalen Hurts, to what degree does that nullify that? How does Hurts' ability to run with the ball, as well as almost any quarterback in the league, impact the Cowboys' ability to get after him?
If you don't get home when you blitz an athletic quarterback, it could be 88 and out the gate. Also, playing cover one is tough because if you turn your back, he's just going to take off knowing that, Jalen Hurts forces you to play 11 on 11. Because he can be a carrier of the football. Usually when you play, it's usually the quarterback hands the ball off so you're facing 10 against 11. You talk about the weapons he has on the outside. This is going to be a test for Diggs as well to see if he is a lockdown cornerback, because going against Brown, that's the man out there. That's a guy that can physically embarrass you in the run game. This is going to be set up by the run by them as well. And if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I run at Parsons. You don't run away from him. You don't pass the ball. I wear him down with body blows early and see if he can stand up to our great offensive line.
What is the defense here? The Cowboy defense, this is the most athletic quarterback they faced so far by far. Matt Stafford, where he's going to be standing. Yep. Obviously not the case here.
I would use Parsons to your advantage, and what I would try and do is break the pocket. So have some inside moves from your defensive ends and use Parsons as a mirror guy, but not waiting for Hurts to get out and run. The second he moves left or right, you go and get him, you attack. Because really, as a pass rusher on the edge, the worst place you can be with a mobile quarterback is behind the quarterback. So you see it every single week. These defensive ends, outside linebackers, they rush up the field, and what does a quarterback do? They step up, then they get out. Well, then that puts a ton of pressure on your secondary. So what you need is somebody to make an inside move to break the pocket, and then a fast, athletic guy like Parsons that can track down the quarterback that's got speed and go get him.
King Wood, does he have to prove it to you? He's proved a lot, Jalen Hurts. But what's at stake for him in the biggest game that they've had so far? What's at stake for him today?
I think validation to me. I think if he goes out there and he wins this game, he plays well against this Dallas Cowboys defense. Yeah. I think stamp it for Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, because he's checked a lot of boxes along the way now, and he goes out here in the biggest game of his career. This is the biggest game of his career. Forget the playoff game. This is to me, this is the biggest game of his career. He goes out and plays well against the Dallas Cowboys. Stamp it.
I haven't seen the picks yet. Let's see. We asked everybody who they think is going to win this game.
I don't like that.
Whoa!
Oh,
boy.
oh, I love it. I love it. How about them Cowboys? Put that up on the screen. It's Jerry Jones' birthday today, by the way. It's Jerry's 80th birthday. Put that up on the screen in their bulletin board, Mike McCarthy. You're going to love it. Everybody here likes the Birds. The Cowboys.
I'm feeling sick right now.
In a lot.
Somebody's going to change. You changing, Dan?
We're just getting
Well, we know where Grinny's at, so we're good.
Oh, how about them Cowboys? We're just getting started. Coming up.